Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Xfinity Center in College Park, Maryland. The 11th-ranked Terrapins hosting Wisconsin. Terps are 18-2 on the season, 7-2 inside conference play. Badgers are 2-7 in league play, 11-10 overall. Dave Preston here courtside with Chloe Pavlik. Big game on tap tonight. Let's look at those Big Ten standings first and foremost. Maryland just one game behind the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. Wisconsin 2-7, but coming off a huge win, a 70-69 victory over Nebraska. A game sealed by a Kelly Carlos game-winning shot at the buzzer. Dave Preston courtside with Chloe Pavlik as we are here tonight for Maryland Terrapins women's basketball with the Wisconsin Badgers. Some players to watch that we've been talking about early and often this afternoon, Chloe. Kyla Charles for the Maryland Terrapins, fresh off scoring a season-high 25 points in Maryland's 76-56 win over Indiana.
Her versatility has been absolutely incredible, and now this year she has a lot more key pieces.
That's the Terrapin freshman point guard Taylor Mikesell, who averages 15 points and 3 assists per contest. Most three-pointers per game in conference play. Stephanie Jones taking to the floor right now. She's become a double-double machine this season, a pair of double-doubles. Also scoring in double figures early and often. There's the defensive X-factor, Blair Watson. Kyla Charles, the player that we've been talking about so far tonight, Chloe. 25 against Indiana, averages 16 points, 6 rebounds a game, 5th in the Big Ten in scoring, 17th in rebounding.
And she started 90 games. Every single game she's played, she started. That is something that's really hard to do, but Coach B trusts her, and she's been phenomenal for her team.
Brenda Fries is in her 17th season at the helm in College Park. 447 victories, 121 losses, 504 career wins in her 20-year career. Shea Robinson, Karen Blair, Caitlin Fratz are her assistant coaches. Libby Ellis, who's been there 25 years, even though she's in her 20s. She's only been with the Terrapins for 6 years. She is the director of basketball operations. Jonathan Sippis, in his 3rd season with GW, 7th season overall. He was previously at George Washington, so he's definitely familiar with the style that Maryland and Coach Brenda Fries like to play.
He's been playing against Maryland his entire coaching career, starting when he was an assistant at Notre Dame, and obviously, like you said, with GW. So the Big Ten, they're very familiar with each other, and this game should be really up and down.
I hear his biggest disappointment in Notre Dame was he lost out on a recruit from Cincinnati in Sycamore High School. I could be wrong.
He was the first coach to ever recruit me. I don't know if he regrets it because he tried to kick me out of his shoot-around today.
It's incredible that the majority, or at least half of the Big Ten schools do wear red. Maryland's wearing the home whites tonight with red trim, red piping, the state flag in there as well. Wisconsin in the road red jerseys. Terrapins, after winning the tip, pop the ball into the post, a loose ball, and Wisconsin gets the steal.
And I'm very interested to see the post matchups tonight. We have Wisconsin, who has undersized posts, and Maryland, who's a little bit bigger down there, so I think it should be a big battle. Wisconsin
might be undersized, but they're number 1 in the Big Ten in blocked shots so far this year. Pass to the low post, Amani Lewis, up and no good. Rebound fought for. Shakira Austin getting the board that time. Terrapins off to the races. They hold up, set up the half-court offense here. Taylor Mikesell, the freshman from Massillon, Ohio, directing traffic right now. Austin, 20 feet away, takes it in, off the rim, no good. Could have been contact, no call, loose ball. Watson with the steal. Her putback won't go. Ball lost out of bounds. No score under a minute into this contest. It's not a surprise for Wisconsin as they rank 13th in the Big Ten in scoring at 64 points a game. Maryland ranks 3rd in the league in scoring, and here comes that full court press.
And these are two teams that are both really good at rebounding, so I want to see exactly what happens tonight.
Dribble drive inside by Beverly, shot no good. Lewis, put back, will not fall. Neither team has made a basket so far tonight. The Terps are 0 for 3. Wisconsin's 0 for 2. Pass to the post. Stephanie up and in for Miss Jones.
Taylor Mikesell's court vision is just phenomenal. She's just a freshman making those types of plays. It's going to be scary to watch her.
Jones ranks 3rd in the Big Ten, 61% from the field, and here comes that full court press for the Terrapins. Badgers break it underneath the cylinder, up and in by Amani Lewis. Her first points of the afternoon.
Might have been a miscue on defense there. The Terps just have to make sure who's ever the last line of defense, they have to look and see who's behind them.
Watson deep and high right side. Pass to Austin in the post. Backs her down. Shot off the rim, no good. Defensive rebound, Lewis. Just underway. Tied at 2 in the early going. Glad you're aboard this evening on the Big Ten Network for women's college basketball. Carlos, dribble drive inside. Shot is lost before she could put it up. Gets her own rebound. Putback is good.
And that's exactly what Wisconsin likes to do. Not necessarily a chuck and chase, but every time they shoot the ball, they're going to go after it, so Shakira Austin has to put a body on.
Terrapins down 2, but with the rock. They'll whip it around the perimeter. Kyla Charles, left elbow extended. Good.
And that's exactly what she's been working on all summer, all season, that mid-range game, but really extending her range. She's deadly.
Again, pressure by the Terrapins. Again, the Badgers break it at midcourt. Kendra Van Leeuwen. Pass to the left side of the lane. Shot is up and good by Amani Lewis. She has 4. That leads all scorers. The Terrapins trail by 2.
And that's the tough part about Amani Lewis. She is an undersized big, so she does have those guard skills. You just always have to be ready. Put a hand out on her and make sure you also play the drive.
Stephanie Jones just inside the cylinder. Pass to the post. Here comes Austin. Up and in and count it. She got fouled.
And a little bit of a dance move there.
Yes. A little power in the post there. It's been impressive to see how Shakira Austin has grown offensively this year. She's got the skills. It's very raw. It's going to be maybe a year or two before you see the finished product. Right now she shoots 45% from the field, being a 6'5" player.
I've been very impressed with her energy, especially with the last couple of games. I think of last game in Indiana, she just seemed like she was really into the game, and her team feeds off of her energy, so Maryland needs that.
Free throws good, so she completes the old-fashioned three-point play. Amani Lewis for Wisconsin getting whistled for the foul. Here comes the press again for the Terrapins, and the Badgers break it. Howard, pass underneath the cylinder. Lewis, what is she going to do? Almost loses it right in front of the Terrapin bench. Van Leeuwen. Outside works off a screen. Wisconsin moving the ball quickly around the perimeter. Marcia Howard's shot does not fall. Offensive rebound, Amani Lewis. 2 of the better rebounding teams in the Big Ten going at it tonight. Shots no good by Van Leeuwen. Rebound Terrapins. Mikesell stops, pops from the right side. 3, good.
And that's a freshman. That type of confidence, being able to pull up in transition and knock it down, that takes a lot of guts.
Badgers break the pressure. Howard, right side. They'll kick it back to Van Leeuwen. Maryland settles into a pesky man-to-man defense. 3-ball, right side, no good by Beverly. Lead feed almost picked off, and it is. Beverly with the steal. Badgers, 3-on-1. Beverly in, off the glass, no good. Putback is up and good for Wisconsin, who are more than holding their own on the glass tonight.
And that's a tough turnover there by Mike, so she's going to make those rookie mistakes, but it's key to see what she does after the mistake.
Loose ball underneath the cylinder, a turnover by the Terrapins. Beverly and the Badgers in the offensive side. Yeah.
St. John's.
From Laurel, Maryland. Just inside the arc is Lewis. Her shot won't fall. Defensive rebound by Blair Watson. Substitutions pending on the next whistle. Pass to the post. Austin double team finds Brianna Frazier, and she gets fouled as she goes in strong. Wow.
And that's the type of energy I love to see from the Terps. Shakira Austin finding Brianna Frazier down low, but then also a little celebration after it. I love to see it.
Count the basket, count the foul on Kelly Carlos. Count a 4-point lead for the Maryland Terrapins. We'll be back after this. 4:55 to play here in the first quarter in College Park. Glad you're aboard for Maryland women's basketball on the Big Ten Network. There's Jonathan Sippes in his 3rd season with the Badgers. 29 wins, 53 losses, at 11-10 so far this season. They've already surpassed their last 2 seasons as far as win totals. At the line to shoot, Brianna Frazier after the foul by Carlos. Free throws off the mark and no good. That was Carlos's first personal. That's the 2nd on the Badgers as a team. Maryland is yet to foul this evening. Badgers with the basketball, Maryland with a 4-point lead. Carlos deep and high left side, guarded by Sarah Vujicic, fresh into the game. We'll update the other players on the floor shortly. Pass underneath the cylinder, shots up and no good. Rebound Terrapins, here's Vujicic, right wing. Shanice Lewis also fresh into the game for the Terrapins. It's Mikesell, Lewis, Frazier, Stephanie Jones, Sarah Vujicic. 12 to shoot. Pass to the low post. Stephanie Jones off the rim, no good. Had a good look, just didn't get it to fall.
It's a really good read by Jones there. Just got to get those easy finishes.
Here comes Beverly. Angles right side, three-point range. Van Leeuwen, who's 7th in the Big Ten in assists per game handles. Carlos dribble drive inside. Mauled as she went in strong. Foul against the Terrapins.
Carlos still looks like she's feeling that energy from when she hit the game-winning shot against Nebraska. I talked to Coach Sippis a little bit about her and just her energy and being that vocal leader with that experience for this Wisconsin team has been huge.
Vujicic picks up the personal foul, her first, the team's first this quarter. Carlos at the line, a 64% free throw shooter. Wisconsin is the worst free throw shooting team in the Big Ten.
It's not a stat I'm sure Coach Sippis is too pleased with.
But Carlos fresh from hitting the game-winning bucket in a 70-69 win over Nebraska. Second free throw's good by Carlos, so she has 3. High score on the evening, Amani Lewis for Wisconsin has 4. Terrapins with a 3-point lead in the basketball. Watson back into the game for the Terrapins. Lewis to Watson, top side 3, elementary.
Cannot go under on Blair Watson. They call her Blair from anywhere because she will shoot it wherever, whenever. You got to be ready and put a hand out on her.
Tore ACL last winter. Coming back strong, not 100% yet, but if she's 75% right now, I'll take this 75%. 3 right side is good by Wisconsin. Jasmine Hale with the bucket, her first 3 of the night. Terrapin lead is 4. Underneath the cylinder, loose ball, and Wisconsin almost loses a handle on the basketball at midcourt. Van Leeuwen now. Beverly will reset the offense. Fakes inside, goes out. Here's Hale. Now Beverly again. 12 to shoot. Left wing Van Leeuwen. Triggers inside of the post. Howard turnaround off the front of the rim, no good. Frazier with the board.
And Wisconsin's offense has been very stagnant. They need to get more ball movement.
3 left wing, no good by Mikesell. Badgers reset defensively after getting the board. Wisconsin out-rebounding Maryland 13-7 in the early going. Maryland's the number 1 rebounding team in the Big Ten.
And we talked about it earlier. It's very interesting to me because Wisconsin is not that tall as a team.
Hale for just inside the arc. Count it. Give her 2. Give her 5 on the night.
And when you see someone starting to get hot right now, Hale has proved herself that she can hit them. Maryland's got to send someone out on her.
Terrapins whip the ball around the perimeter. Lead slice to 2. Frazier just inside the circle, takes it into the lane, left side, up and in.
I love seeing that from her. Just a nice little dribble there, pull up right over her defender. She can do that every single time.
Frazier has 4 the lead, back to 4. Largest lead of the day has been 6 for the Terrapins. Wisconsin's led as well. Their largest advantage of the night has been 2. Beverly, dribble drive underneath the cylinder, a little too much gun. Had Hale wide open. Threw that one through the uprights, almost landed into the seats.
Yeah, I think maybe Wisconsin has underestimated Maryland's length just a little bit. As a guard, you cannot drive down under there. It's very, very tough because you can't see anything, and you have that baseline acting as another defender.
Terrapins up 4. Turnovers tonight so far for Maryland 2 for Wisconsin. Maryland shooting 50% from the field. Wisconsin 6 of 17, 35% shooting tonight, but they've been able to get things done from time to time.
Stephanie Jones laughing there, but they got her for an offensive screen.
Not ideal. But what are you going to do? .118 to play here in the first quarter. Terrapins roll out a semi-press, not exactly the full court variety that we've seen earlier tonight.
They just want to put a little pressure, slow Wisconsin down, just give them a little bit of trouble getting into their offense.
Carlos back to Beverly, who's now between the rings, hounded by Blair Watson. Works off a screen. Carlos, dribble drive to the right elbow. Pass to the low post. Shot is up and good by Abby Lazuski. Her first 2 of the night. Maryland leads slice to 2 again at 17-15, under a minute to play here in the first quarter. 16-second differential between the clocks. Frazier resets. Janice Lewis here, 13 to shoot. Frazier, dribble drive, left side of the lane, up and no good. Rebound, putback will not fall, but Kyla Charles gets fouled.
And that's what you want. One of your teammates to have your back like Charles did with Frazier makes it a lot easier, and Coach Freeze won't be as mad if you do miss that layup.
At the line to shoot, Kyla Charles, 3rd in the Big Ten in free throw shooting. 81% foul shooter. Dirty but good. Taking a seat, Brianna Frazier checking in, Shakira Austin. One last shot / possession for the Badgers here. Second free throw's good. 4 for Charles. Terrapin lead back to 4. And Lewin with one last possession. And Lewin left side. Hale will kick it outside. Oh, does Carlos have the stroke from 3 as the clock expires or goes down to 3 seconds? No, but she did get fouled.
And that's a play where you really got to shake your head, because that's the last thing you want as a player. The shot clock's winding down, and there's no reason to foul. You just need to get a hand in her face. And Carlos was fading away from the basket.
Watson's first personal foul. That's the 3rd on the Terrapins as a team this quarter. They reset each quarter, as opposed to the old days when it was just half by half. It's a different world from the days when you played, Chloe. Those olden days of 20-minute halves and walking uphill to school both ways. Oh, my.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of both. I had to play with halves. I had to play with quarters. I got to tell you, quarters are a little harder.
It does add a different wrinkle, because when you're looking at and then all of a sudden it's, no, it's not the second half, it's the second quarter. We have a whole.
And if you think about it, with quarters, you get an extra minute for the media.
Exactly.
So with halves, you only had 4 minutes till you got that first break, and now you got to get 5.
First free throw's good. Second free throw's good.
But this is something that Coach Freeze talked about with her team. Not giving an opponent life in your home arena or in general. Now the score is 19-17. Wisconsin has a chance to make this other free throw, cut the lead now down to 1.
Carlos has 5, 3 seconds to play. She goes 3 for 3 on that trip to the line. She began the evening a 64% foul shooter. She's made 4 of 5 so far tonight. Terrapins can set up one of those full court shots or 3/4 court shots. Dialing up a little Destiny Slocum for all we know. Inbounds, nobody can come up with it cleanly, and Wisconsin will just dribble out the clock here in the first quarter. 10 minutes are complete here in College Park as Maryland leads Wisconsin 19-18 after 1 quarter. This is the Big Ten Network. Second quarter about to get underway here in College Park on the Big Ten Network. Maryland with a 1-point advantage. Looking at the numbers, Chloe Pavlik, rebounding. Wisconsin came into the night the 5th best rebounding team in the conference. Maryland was number 1. The Badgers have won the battle of the boards thus far, 12-8.
One thing Maryland was really big on is not getting any second chance points, and So far, Wisconsin has 4 offensive rebounds, but my biggest thing for Maryland is you don't want to give a team life. And now this Wisconsin team is playing with some confidence, as you see as Kelly Carlis scores right there.
Carlis again makes the move. She has 7, her first points of the second quarter, and the Terrapins now trail by 1. They trailed earlier this evening, briefly. They've led by as many as 6. Terrapins going with the original starting 5 plus Sarah Vujicic and Shanice Lewis into the game. Shakira Austin in the lane. Shot is off the back of the rim. No good. Offensive rebound and put back. No good that time by Kyla Charles. She gets her own rebound again. Terrapins will reset. Austin inside. Turnaround. Right-hander. Rims in. Good.
That's a big-time move.
That ball looked like it was going to shoot back out, though.
She got a little touch from the basketball gods.
It's always nice to have a kind rim. Tip your rims, boys and girls, when you go out and shoot baskets. Howard between the rings. Carlis left side. Hugged by Vujicic. Here's Hale. Pass to the right elbow. Almost a double team. Almost a turnover by Lewis, who takes it inside and gets fouled.
And that's a tough foul there by Charles. But on helping the helper, you can't help up. You have to step over. But I don't think Coach B is too happy with that play there.
Maryland defensively, second best field goal percentage defense. They're 8th best in defending the 3. 3rd best in the Big Ten in scoring defense. First 3 throws good by Lewis, the freshman from Willingboro, New Jersey. And Life Center Academy, which when I first heard about it, I thought that was that sounds made up. It's not made up. It's an actual school. Life Center Academy. It's a real school. Asia Ellison, former Maryland Terrapin, is a graduate of Life Center Academy.
Very creative name there, huh? One thing with the Terps, if you think about it, they just had that really great play on offense, and then you go down to defense and you give a foul. You got to put back-to-back plays together. So hopefully they can get something mustered up here on offense so they can start to pull away from this Wisconsin team.
Second free throw was no good. Terrapins down the offensive set. We're tied at 21. Contact in the lane. Perhaps a moving pick on the Terrapins. A look on Stephanie Jones's face means that perhaps she got whistled that time.
Yeah, Carlis ran into her hand there and kind of
body English?
Maybe fudged a little dramatic a little bit, but
second personal though on Stephanie Jones, and she goes to the bench, and Brenda Fries does not like to play players with 2 fouls this early in the second quarter. Van Leeuwen outside. Dribble drive down the lane, up and no good by Lewis. Defensive rebound by the smallest kid on the floor, Shanice Lewis. Vujicic unloads, right side, good.
She's money from there. That's where she likes to shoot. She's a shooter. Nice little easy find by Shanice Lewis, and she knocks it in.
She's better from outside the arc than inside the arc so far this season. Terrapins with a 3-point advantage.
It's funny how that works.
Every so often. And Carlis. The pass zigged. Howard zagged. Ball goes out of bounds. Turnover, Wisconsin. That's just their 3rd miscue of the night. Maryland's turned the ball over 5 times. Normally turnovers would be an issue, a problem, but Maryland is so up-tempo and they move the ball so quickly that they have so many possessions. 5 turnovers isn't that much when you look at the volume of times they have the ball. Mikesell, deep and high right side, guarded by Carlis. Skip pass left wing. 15 to shoot. Terrapins by 3 and with the basketball. Brianna Frazier showing some skills, but doesn't get the shot to fall, but she had a little bit of glide down the lane. Another pass airmail. This is the second turnover we've seen go in this direction on the left side of the floor, into the seats almost. There's no one over here heckling anyone, but it looks like they're trying to pick somebody off.
We sure aren't. Wisconsin just has to slow themselves down. Sometimes you don't have to make the hard play. Just run your offense, get an easy score.
Pass to the low post, shot up and no good by Brianna Frazier. Rebound finally lands in the hands of Kendra Van Leeuwen. going up against a pair of trees. She was able to out-rebound Austin, who's 6'5", and Frazier, who's 6'3".
Frazier's got to have those. Those are easy layups you got to put in.
Van Leeuwen left side, works off a screen, goes into the lane, passes out right wing, back to Carlos. Will she shoot? Right elbow, off the rim, no good. Terrapins with the board, Lewis off to the races. Finally tries to lean inside, ball is slapped out of bounds by Howard. Tough play right there in transition, she holds up. Couldn't find anybody and finally had to try to do what she could on her own.
Well, that's the hard part about transition. Maryland designs their transition play so that two players run to the blocks. She didn't have someone on that left block, so someone's got to be there, and that's what she was looking for.
She triggers the inbounds with 21 on the shot clock, 6:13 here on the game clock in the second quarter, and a three by Taylor Mikesell.
That's just tough. Hand in your face. You knock it down. When she catches it in rhythm, she is dangerous.
Maryland is 4 for 5 from three-point range so far tonight. Both of Mikesell's back buckets have come from outside of the arc. Pass to the post, shot is up and no good. Ilazewski, rugby scrum in the lane. It's going to be a held ball, possession arrow pointing Maryland's way. Terrapins back to a 6-point lead, their largest of the night.
I like that hustle by Shanice Lewis, right? Wisconsin's game plan is to keep getting second chance points, and she dives on the floor, secures the ball so that Maryland gets this possession.
She's listed at 5'8". She rebounds for a 6-footer, it feels like. Mikesell, pass to the left elbow. Here's Kyla Charles, who had 25 just the other day, makes this one rain.
And that is her bread and butter. Just a little right to left step back. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, but every time she does it, she is money.
Charles has 6. Terrapins with an 8-point lead, their largest of the night. Van Leeuwen kills her dribble to Howard now. Beverly and that ponytail dribble and shot underneath the cylinder by Howard falls. Howard's first bucket of the night. Actually, she has 4, check that.
Wisconsin's going to need her to come alive. She's one of their vocal leaders, one of their leading scorers, so she has to have a good game for them to have a chance.
Vujicic, left side of the lane, shot no good, rebound Howard. Howard is 5th in the Big Ten in rebounding, leads this Badger team on the glass so far this season. Lazuski just inside the arc, shot won't fall. Rebound Mikesell. Terrapins in transition, they don't have numbers. Loose ball, Lewis recovers. To the baseline, ball goes out of bounds. And they'll reset with 4:23 to play here in the first half. Maryland leading Wisconsin 29-23 on the Big Ten Network. 4:23 to play in the first half. Maryland leading Wisconsin 29-23. Dave Preston courtside with Chloe Pavlik. There you see Maryland number 11 in the Associated Press rankings. They're 10th in the coaches poll. Baylor's number 1, UConn's number 2. And lo and behold, you've got the usual suspects. Notre Dame's in the mix. Maryland looking to get back to the Sweet 16, as they've been a regular in the second weekend of the tournament the last few years. They did not get to the round of 16 last year, losing at NC State in the second round. Hale, dribble drive down the lane for the Badgers. Her shot is blocked by Frazier. Loose ball picked up by Watson. Dribble drive inside, and the shot won't fall. But a foul called. Kyla Charles, a little too much body English for her.
And I think Charles thought she was inside the circle, but she was set. And that's a hard play, because when you are a player like Kyla Charles, going full speed ahead, even though I think she does have a pretty good sense of direction, but that's a tough call.
7 turnovers so far tonight. Maryland leads by 6. Howard and the Badgers with the basketball. Almost loses it out of bounds. 4 turnovers for Wisconsin this evening. Badgers are 14th in the Big Ten in turnover margin. Here's Howard. They'll whip it around the perimeter. 7 to shoot. Carlos, 3-ball. In and out, no good. Rebound tapped around. Watson comes up with it. Maryland up 6 and with the basketball. Their leading scorer, Kyla Charles, on the bench with foul trouble. Just inside the arc, shot no good by Mikesell. Putback is up and good. That's what you want Brianna Frazier to do.
And Mikesell can take those types of shots because she knows her bigs like Frazier and Austin are going to rebound.
Frazier has 6. The Terrapin lead back to 8. Pass to the post, almost lost by Carlos, but she takes it in. Left-hander's good. Carlos has 10. That leads all scorers.
She just plays so hard with so much energy and confidence.
Pass to the post, tipped and stolen by Van Leeuwen. 8th turnover of the night for the Terrapins. Wisconsin with the basketball. Pass to the post. Here's Howard working inside against Austin. Right-handers altered. Maybe not a true block, but definitely altered by the 6'5 freshman, and the Terrapins have the rock. Austin inside. Right-hander. Good.
And she has that ability to get it done on the defensive end and then get it done on the offensive end. Coach B loves mobile bigs, and that's exactly what Shakira Austin is.
Shakira Austin has 7. When the Maryland Terrapins are at their best under Coach Brenda Fries, it's when they have that athletic 4, whether it's an Alyssa Thomas, whether it's, say, a Laura Harper, a 4 who doesn't move like a 4. Left-hander, up and good by Lewis, who's an athletic forward in her own right.
Tiana Hawkins, too.
Yep. Because there's a lot of big players, there's a lot of skilled players, a lot of athletic players, but if it's a big athletic player who's skilled, you've got some excitement and some wins. Whistle stops play on the other side offensively for the Terrapins.
And now you start to see Maryland get into their groove. They're really finding themselves. But one thing this team is going to have to learn, that every game you're not going to get this much time to really find your energy, find what you need to do on both ends. So they have to figure it out early.
Kendra Van Leeuwen with the foul, the first on the Badgers this quarter. Terrapins have 3 team fouls in the second quarter. 90 seconds to play before intermission. Blair Watson deep and high left side, won't take the screen. Instead, she'll pass inside. Austin to Lewis, count it.
And Austin is playing so well as of late. She's a freshman, but she does not play like a freshman. Her and Mikesell, they have these moments where I think everyone is ready for them to really take over the games, but you have to be patient.
Beverly does a do-si-do. Van Leeuwen, 3-ball right side, no good, but there's contact underneath the cylinder. A little push-off there. Terrapins will get the ball back, leading 35-27, just over a minute to play here in the first half. Amani Lewis picks up the foul. That's her second. That's the second on the Badgers as a team this quarter. Mikesell just outside the arc, right wing. 33-second differential between the shot and game clock. Lewis, now Austin in the low post. Puts up a shot, but they say that she took steps before taking the shot.
She just got a little bit of happy feet there. It's hard. One thing the officials are really emphasizing is keeping that pivot foot down. Not even moving a little bit, because even if it moves just that little bit, they're going to call it travel.
Carlos has it deep and high left side now. 15 to shoot. Here's Howard. Beverly far away from the basket. Howard reins it in from three-point range. Shot will not fall. Lewis with the rebound. Shot clock is off, and the Terrapins will get one last attempt here. Unless they find something really awesome that they can put points on the board quickly. unless Wisconsin sits down, which they won't. Lewis works off a strong screen set by Austin. Frazier just inside the arc. Rims out, no good. Putback is up and rolls out, no good by Austin. Loose ball. They tried to find a trailer for three-point range, but the buzzer sounds.
That 3 by Lewis does not count, everyone.
Maryland will take a 35-27 lead over Wisconsin into the half. Maryland shooting 14 of 30, 47% from the field, to Wisconsin's 11 of 30, 37% from the field. Your leading scorer, Kelly Carlos of Wisconsin, has 10, leading the Terrapins with 7 points so far tonight. Freshman Shakira Austin. We'll be back. We're at the half. Maryland leading Wisconsin.
Talked about, and for Maryland, for them, it's all about picking up their energy. Now they're starting to figure out how they want to play with each other, and they know each other's games, so now they have to adding on top of that.
Wisconsin averages 64 points per game. That's 13th in the Big Ten. They had 18 in the first quarter, which would prorate to 72. Second quarter, they had 9. More to their form. Maryland leading the conference in a lot of categories in rebounding margin. They're third in scoring, averaging 76 points per game. Right now they're on pace to get to 70 as the original starting 5 come back in for the Maryland Terrapins. Badgers with the basketball, moving from left to right on your TV set or computer or phone, whichever device you may have. Glad you're aboard with us here this evening on the Big Ten Network. Maryland up 8. Wisconsin with the basketball, an air ball by Lewis, and the Terrapins get the ball back. Austin, dribble drive glide, loses a handle on the rock. Turnover for Maryland in the early going. That's their 10th of the night. Van Leeuwen. Beverly almost loses the basketball. Passes underneath the cylinder. There's a steal by Mikesell. Quick tempo for the Terrapins. Charles with the basket.
And every time, we talked about this earlier, anytime she goes right to left, that step back, that time it was behind the back, it's money.
Substitution pending for the Terrapins on the next whistle. Dribble drive inside by Beverly, no good. Rebound, Austin. 6th board of the game for the freshman. On the other end, Jones, shot no good.
And I'm interested to see how Jones does this half. The first half, obviously, she sat out a lot because of foul trouble, so it's important for her to kind of get her rhythm back, but she doesn't have to force anything.
Tough to get into the rhythm of the game when you're not on the stage. Beverly between the rings now with 13 to shoot. Terrapins in a pesky man-to-man defense. Here's Howard. Fakes the shot, goes inside strong, and loses the basketball. Another steal, this time by Austin. Charles into the front court, off the glass and good.
And one thing that's so impressive about Maryland is that anyone can start the break.
39-27, a couple quick baskets for the Maryland Terrapins here to begin the second half. We'll take a timeout as Jonathan Sippes and the Wisconsin Badgers get action here in College Park at Xfinity Center. Maryland with a 12-point lead. Wisconsin with the basketball. They're shooting 0 for 3 with 3 turnovers this half. Dave Preston courtside with Chloe Pavlik.
And that's something that Wisconsin has been struggling with the entire season is their shooting percentage. Being able to knock down shots, they just haven't necessarily found their rhythm.
Here's Kelly Carlos. Inside, shot is up and good by Marcia Howard.
And they need Howard to get going. She's one of their leading scorers. We talked about this earlier, but she's a key component in this Wisconsin offense.
Pass to the low post to Brianna Frazier, who's just checked in. Ball lost out of bounds. Taking a seat, Shakira Austin. Looks like they're working on her knee or right leg there. I'll try to get you an update this evening. Howard handles just outside the arc, passes out of a double team. Van Leeuwen finding the open Carlos, left wing. High three-shot three-pointer's no good. Rebound and putback is up and good by Marcia Howard, who has both of Wisconsin's baskets this half. Kyla Charles has both of the Terrapin baskets since intermission. 3-ball, right side off the rim, no good by Blair Watson. Beverly up the right sideline into the front court, doesn't have the numbers. Maryland up 8. Their largest lead of the night has been 12. Shot from the right side, no good. Rebound, Stephanie Jones. Mikesell this time into the front court. Watson left wing. Bounce pass inside. Double team. Brianna Frazier loses the basketball. Lead feed to Beverly. Badgers with the bucket and the foul. Beverly goes to the line.
And this is what we talked about with Maryland, giving a team life. Now Wisconsin has cut this lead into 6 with Beverly's and 1. And it's hard to keep a lead. That's something that's very hard to do, but you gotta keep your energy. You don't want to give a team life.
Beverly's first basket of the night. Shakira Austin checks in. Brianna Frazier takes a seat. Foul goes to Taylor Mikesell. That's the first on the Terrapins this half. Free throws good by Beverly, who converts the old-fashioned three-point play. Terrapin lead now sliced to 5 as the Badgers are on a 7-0 run. Mikesell off a screen set by Austin. Has some space. They're going to say perhaps a little contact as Austin scrapes herself off the floor. You could have used a spatula right there. Foul on the Badgers. They're first. It's a common foul, so just a fresh 30 in the basketball for the Terrapins. Beverly picking up the personal there.
They missed Austin on that one. I felt like she had the lob.
Kyla Charles around a screen on the left elbow. Here's Austin, puts the ball on the floor. Left-hander off the glass and good.
Didn't miss her that time. Austin is just able to move her body and finish in creative ways.
Austin has 9, the lead back to 7 for Maryland. They trailed briefly this evening on 2 occasions. Loose ball underneath the cylinder, held ball, possession arrow, pointing Maryland's way.
You can tell Howard looking very frustrated, but it's hard when you play against these types of bigs with their length. You got to find different ways on how to score with shot faking and even maybe taking the ball out and trying to hit a mid-range.
Terrapins with the basketball in a 7-point lead. Charles, left wing 3-point range. Works off a screen set by Austin. We've been saying that early and often tonight. Inside, the right-hand runner is up and good.
There's just so many different offensive weapons that you have to worry about as an opponent playing against Maryland, and Kyla Charles is just able to find that easy lay-in.
Charles has 12. The Terrapins back up 9. Howard inside off the glass and good.
See, that time Howard brought her defender out. She found a different place to score from, and she was able to be successful.
Howard has 12. Underneath the cylinder is Charles. Watson slashes inside, up and good.
And this is the type of Maryland team that we like to watch. You see them energized into the game, cheering for each other.
Watson lays back defensively. Terrapins with the loose man here. Pass to the low post. It's swiped and stolen away by Taylor Mikesell. Lead feed. Kyla Charles lays it off the glass. No good, but she gets fouled. Kyla Charles has been on fire this half. A lot of her buckets have been in transition. She has 6 points, and with the chance to add to that total since the half, she has 12. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. Maryland leading Wisconsin 45-36 on the Big Ten Network.
Their way, slowly but surely. We see glimpses of it, kind of up and down, but like we said earlier, when they get their energy, it's incredible.
First free throw is good by Kyla Charles. The foul assessed to Kelly Carlos. That's her second. Second on the Badgers as a team this quarter. Second free throw is good, so Charles goes 2 for 2 on that trip to the line. 8 of her 14 points have come in this quarter. Maryland with an 11-point advantage. Here comes the half-court press for the Terrapins. Badgers break it. They now reset with Beverly. Beverly angles, right side, 3-point range. 10 to shoot in the corner. Carlos, pass to the low post, shot up and no good. Rebound, Shakira Austin. Lead feed, Mikesell stops, pops, off the front of the rim, no good. Defensive rebound off Beverly's foot and out of bounds. Terrapins get a lucky break right there, but you got to hustle, you got to be lucky to be good too.
I love how Charles just went over for that board. She didn't necessarily get it, but was able to hit it off the Wisconsin player.
4 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Terrapins up 11. Austin underneath. Shot won't fall. Gets her own rebound. Put back. She can't get the shot off. Here's Mikesell, 3, right side, good. Rebound Beverly. Badgers down 11, but with the basketball. Howard, right elbow extended. Trying to back Austin back down, will not. Back to Beverly, and they'll reset offensively. Badgers more than content to take time off the shot clock, get the best opportunity they can. Howard inside, shot is up and good. That's the best opportunity. Liszewski with the basket, her first this half. Stephanie Jones glides inside. Her shot won't fall, and she gets whistled for the personal foul. That might be a frustration foul. It hasn't been her night, and the last thing she needed was another quick foul right there.
You read my mind. Definitely a frustration foul there. And we said it earlier, it's hard. It's hard when you've been sitting out an entire half and now you get going.
Brianna Frazier with 4 rebounds on the night, passing the 500 plateau. She joins the 500 club, 503 career rebounds for the senior from Brooklyn, New York.
I'd like to take credit for a few of those because she would turn my air balls into assists.
They weren't air balls. they made rim, I think, some of them. But they hit the net on the outside. That doesn't count as an air ball, does it? Pressure by the Terrapins. Maryland up 47-38. A whistle stops play. Badgers get to reset. Foul goes against Blair Watson. That'll be her second. Watson has 2, Charles has 2, Jones has 3 personals. Fresh 30 in the rock for the Badgers. Van Leeuwen angles off. I'll work the ball around the perimeter. Here's Hale. Top side. Nice job double teaming away from the cylinder tonight for the Terrapins, not allowing Wisconsin to be able to turn the corner.
That's a really great hedge from Frazier there, helping Charles to really curve her around. Mike's laughing because she thinks it should be Maryland ball.
It's Badgers basketball off the loose ball. Van Leeuwen, 12 to shoot. Tries to work off a screen, cannot. Pass to the post, it's kicked out of bounds. Off a Badger toe. Turnover Wisconsin. They've got 12 on the night. Maryland has 12 turnovers as well. Only 3 for Maryland, though, since the end of the first half. 7 of Wisconsin's turnovers have come in this quarter.
And they're struggling with Maryland's length. We've been saying it all game, and you see it there from Austin.
Mikesell past the timeline. Looking for Charles. Kyla can't take it inside. Passes to Watson. Underneath, up and no good, but she gets hacked. Foul on the Badgers.
Charles' versatility is pretty incredible. Just to be her size, to be able to be a guard, to also be a big, but to have the passing skills she does and the scoring ability she does, it's incredible.
Watson 16 for 17 from the free throw line, makes the first.
You see Charles there was trying to get some love from Watson, but missed her.
Second free throw up and good. So she goes 2 for 2 on that trip to the line. Give Watson 7 on the evening. Maryland lead back to 11. Their largest advantage of the night was 12 when they were up 39-27 early in the second half. Late in the third quarter now. Maryland up double digits. Beverly taking her time again. Maryland coming out to meet her. Loose ball almost. Hale comes up with it. Right-hander from the left side of the lane. Air ball underneath the cylinder. On the baseline goes Lewis's foot. Turnover.
In that possession, Maryland had 3 different deflections. Their length is a problem. They just have to keep putting their hands up. They should be able to do this with every team.
Very active in the passing lanes, and as you mentioned, that causes turnovers. If that doesn't cause a turnover, at least it maybe causes a poor shot or a poor possession. Mikesell doesn't have enough room for a 3. Nice job defensively by Beverly. Pass underneath the cylinder. Loose ball. Who's got it? Howard. Turnover Terrapins. Their 13th of the night. Beverly. Now Howard just inside the arc. Shot is up and no good. Rebound Austin. That's her 8th board of the night. She has 9 points. Close to another double-double. Charles inside. Loses a handle on the basketball. Beverly now. Right side, just outside the arc. Hale handles to the right side of the 3-point stripe. Pass to the post, contact. Perhaps Shakira Austin whistled for the personal. 1:15 to play here in the third quarter. Maryland with an 11-point advantage.
I think it would be good for both teams to just set up their offense, slow down a little bit here. And Maryland's had a couple of turnovers, and Wisconsin hasn't necessarily been able to score. So just take a deep breath and relax.
Scoring drought for the Badgers over 2 minutes. They've missed their last 4 shots. Another whistle stops play.
And that basket is good.
After the basket, yeah. One of those odd moments. So Beverly gets the bucket. Now she goes to the line after Lewis gets whistled for the personal. Beverly makes the free throw, so she completes the old-fashioned 3-point play. Give her 6. Terrapin lead now sliced to 8. Austin outside. Just over a minute to play here in the third quarter. Frazier now handles. Watson deep and high left side. Down low, Frazier, right-hander up and rims out no good, but she'll go to the line. Strong presence inside by the senior forward.
That's a big move and a great read by her, seeing that the defender's giving her baseline side, and she drives it right up for the easy take.
Amani Lewis picks up her third personal. That's the fourth on Wisconsin as a team. The Terrapins have 5 this quarter.
And this is what I like seeing from Frazier. Well, I don't like seeing her miss the free throw.
First free throw's no good. Frazier entering the night 65% foul shooter. Substitution, Abby Lazuski's in.
But what I like from her is her aggressiveness. This is the type of aggressiveness she needs every game. She doesn't have a lot of games left. She's a senior, and she has to make each moment count.
Second free throw's good, so she goes 1 for 2 on that trip to the line. Her first point of the second half. Frazier has 7. The Terrapin lead is 9. Van Leeuwen, hounded by a double team at midcourt, gets the pass off just in time. Beverly, hounded by a double team, almost a loose ball steal. Carlos inside. That shot is blocked and controlled by Brianna Frazier. Lewis, lead feed. Here's Charles. Slices through a double team. Shot up and good.
Two-hand block, two-hand finish.
We're going to call that a Houdini hoop because there's no way she should have gotten through for that one. Terrapin lead back to 11. Charles with 10 of her 16 coming in the third quarter. Nia Beverly passes to Carlos, 4-3. Carlos's shot rims out no good. Ball tapped around. Rebound, Shakira Austin. And the clock runs out in the third quarter with Maryland leading 52-41. The fourth quarter is next right here on the Big Ten Network. On the campus of College Park in Maryland, the University of Maryland, the number 11 team in the writers' rankings, 10th in the coaches' poll, leading Wisconsin by the score of 52-41. Fourth quarter about to begin. Terrapins only outscored the Badgers 17-14 in the third quarter, but they held Wisconsin to 6 of 16 shooting and turned them over 8 times.
And Kyla Charles has really come alive here in the third quarter, and now starting the fourth. I'm excited to see what she does.
10 of Charles's 16 points came in that third quarter. Dave Preston courtside with Chloe Pavlik. Glad you're aboard this evening for Big Ten women's basketball on the Big Ten Network. Beverly handles. Deep and high right side. Van Leeuwen. Pass to the baseline. They'll kick it back out. Van Leeuwen with 5 to shoot. Into the post. Ball is swiped away. Lost out of bounds. If the Badgers maintain possession, they'll have only 2 seconds on the shot clock right here.
Maryland getting their hands on every single thing. That's what you want to see if you're Brenda Frese.
Beverly to trigger the inbounds. Carlos unloads immediately. Air ball. Shot clock violation. That time, Blair Watson did not foul Carlos. Lesson learned from the first quarter.
Exactly. I thought Carlos was going to give us another buzzer beater there.
I know. Well, she almost had a buzzer beater to end the third quarter. Charles just inside the arc. Ball's kicked, so they'll reset. Maryland shooting 6 of 12 in the second half, 20 of 43 on the night. Rebounding battle, they're winning the battle of the boards by 9 after Wisconsin had the early advantage. Fresh 15 in the basketball. Inbounds, Charles, she's fouled.
Just love how hard Kyla Charles plays. Every single possession, you see her trying to get to the basket, trying to find her open teammates. She does everything for Maryland.
Marcia Howard picks up her first personal foul, first team foul for the Badgers this quarter. First free throw's good. You know, Kyla Charles has worked on her outside shot. Now, when a lot of players work on their outside shot, they just start raining it from 3. She's not a three-point shooter, but she's got that mid-range, Jay. She makes the second from the line right there.
Anything from 17 feet, she is money. I would never bet against her.
18 points for Charles. The Terrapin lead now 13, their largest of the night. Van Leeuwen kills her dribble. Howard, top side. Tries to bounce pass to the baseline, loses a handle on the rock. There's a steal by Brianna Frazier. Rugby scrum, headlock. Well, the Big Ten's a physical conference, we like to say. No easy nights.
Yeah, but even there, you kind of saw Howard standing over Frazier. That's not something you can do.
No. Loose ball on the floor. The Terrapins get possession.
And that's tough, but Frazier's got to make sure that she keeps her head here because you don't want anything crazy going on for this possession.
Second steal of the night by Frazier. Terrapins with the basketball and a 13-point lead. Gliding down the lanes, Kyla Charles. Wow.
Can anyone stop her?
Kyla's got 20. Her career high is 32 against Ohio State last season. There's another steal, but lost out of bounds by Brianna Frazier. So Wisconsin will reset with 24 on the shot clock, but Maryland up 15 now.
And I love that play from Frazier. She wouldn't have done that her freshman year.
She was too busy rebounding somebody's errant shots, from what I was told. Bounce pass, and there's a steal by Kyla Charles. 2-on-1. Takes it in herself. Watson's shot is blocked. Perhaps instead of passing off, she could have gone in. Instead, she dished, and Watson got blocked.
She's trying to get her assists up.
Got to do something.
I don't think Watson was expecting her to pass it, to be honest.
Not exactly. 8:09 to play here in the fourth quarter. Maryland leading Wisconsin 56-41. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. This is the Big Ten Network. Pair of games in their next 5 against last place Illinois. Some help perhaps as Jonathan Sippis' team is 2-7 in Big Ten play. Coach Brenda Freese and company. Big one there looking at February 10th. They'll be at Rutgers, the team that beat them here on the College Park floor the last day of December. 3-ball, air ball by Blair Watson. Loose ball underneath the cylinder. Lost out of bounds.
I'm sure that Rutgers game is probably starred and circled on Maryland's
asterisk,
schedule.
you know, the little that ampersand, pretty much everything off that top row when you do the shift key. Yes. Dave Preston courtside with Chloe Pavlik here on the Big Ten Network. Maryland with a 15-point lead, their largest of the night. Nia Beverly guarded loosely there by Blair Watson. They'll whip it around the perimeter. Kelly Carliss's three won't fall. Defensive rebound, Brianna Frazier. Well, with Stephanie Jones's foul trouble, Frazier's played really well. Lewis, 3, count it.
You're going to leave her open. She's going to knock it down.
Shanice Lewis's first points of the second half, give her 5. Terrapin lead up to 18.
And that's something that you want from Lewis. You saw Charles being guarded in the post. Lewis has to consistently knock down open shots.
Terrapins with an 18-point lead. Wisconsin with the basketball. Beverly, pass to the high post. Here comes Howard, loses a handle on it. Loose ball. Coming up with it is Lewis. Puts up a prayer from the left side of the lane. No good. Rebound, Kyla Charles. Kyla glides. Kyla makes. Kyla's going to the line.
She just did the bust down Tatiana dance. I like it, Kyla Charles. This is a fun Maryland team, and I love to see that. It looks like the ref maybe not too happy that she did that move. Probably asking her what that dance is.
Yes, Kelly Carlis picks up the personal foul. That's her third. 2 on the Badgers as a team. The Terrapins have yet to commit a foul in this fourth quarter. Taking a seat, Brianna Frazier checking in. Shakira Austin. 9 points and 9 rebounds for the freshman from Fredericksburg, Virginia. At the line now, though, is Kyla Charles. Free throws off the mark, no good. A rare miss for the 81% foul shooter, who ranks 3rd in the Big Ten in that category. Terrapins up 20, Badgers with the ball. Howard, pass to the post. Lewis, right-hander, up and good. Amani Lewis with her first point of the second half. She has 9. And how about that? Nice answer for the Terrapins.
I think it's been hard for Lewis to adjust to the Big Ten play, right? Now you're playing a top team in the Big Ten, Maryland, and figuring out that physicality is very difficult as a freshman.
Watson with the bucket on the last offensive possession for the Terps. She has 9. Foul underneath the basket. Perhaps Kyla Charles this time. Substitution pending. Maryland with a 20-point advantage. 6:06 to play in regulation. Maryland looking for their 19th victory of the season. Foul is against Kyla Charles. That's her third. First free throw off the mark, no good, by Amani Lewis, the freshman from Willingboro, New Jersey. Life Center Academy, the same alma mater as Asia Ellison. Freshman missing the first. She's a 57% foul shooter. Kyla Charles taking a seat. Second free throw is up and good. So Lewis has 10. Terrapin lead sliced to 19. Maryland led by 1 after 1 quarter, up 8 after 2. Right now they're dominating. Shanice Lewis deep and high left side. She's been able to pop from 3 this half. Pass to the post. Austin inside. Off the back of the rim is no good. Watson on the wing inside. Left-hander, right-hander from the left side, up and good.
You can feel the difference in Maryland's energy and how they play, and this is what I want to see from them from top to the bottom. We talked about earlier how they, to me, early in the season could have been a Final Four team, and I think there still is potential, but they have to play like this.
Off to the races now. Vujicic fresh into the game. Here's Lewis, and they're going to say perhaps steps. Yes. First turnover this quarter for the Terrapins. 5:11 to play in regulation. They do lead by 21, their largest advantage of the day. A couple players who came alive in the second half, Chloe. Kyla Charles with 16 of her 22 since intermission. Blair Watson with 8 of her 11 since the half. Watson locks up Van Leeuwen, who now gets it back off the pass from Carlos. Pass to the post. Carlos right elbow, up and off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound Lewis. Her shot won't fall. Rebound tapped around. Who's got it? Vujicic for a second. Carlos comes up with it. They're going to say there was contact on the baseline. Marcia Howard.
Coach Sippis does not look too happy about that play, and neither does Howard.
When it's right in front of them on the bench, you assume that they have a better vantage point, even though there are a lot of coaches who, if you ask them, their team had never committed a foul in the however many years they had coached.
I mean, there are 2 rules in coaching. Rule number 1, coach is always right. Rule number 2, refer to rule number 1.
And 3, coach is right when number 2 doesn't apply. Lewis on the right side goes baseline underneath the cylinder. Back to Vujicic, who won't trigger. 10 to shoot. Lewis left wing, just inside the arc. Austin, dribble drive into the lane. 3 ball, Vujicic off the rim, no good as the shot clock expires. Quality possession for the Terrapins, they just didn't get a shot to fall. Gilreath. Now Howard fires from the right side of the baseline, no good. Rebound, Shakira Austin, who now has 10 rebounds on the night. Lewis. Left wing, 3-point range. She'll settle things up now, back between the rings. 14th time tonight, Shakira Austin's had double figures in rebounds. Shot off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound tracked down by Wisconsin after Vujicic almost came up with the loose ball. Carlos passes underneath the cylinder. Shot is up and good by Lewis.
Now Lewis is really starting to get going here as Coach Freeze calls a timeout.
5 of Lewis's 12 points have come in the fourth quarter. Maryland leading 65-46 with 3:33 to play.
He's actually a McDonald's All-American and from the Cleveland area. So Ohio State, I think, will get back there, but you just rely so much on a player, and sometimes it can really mess with your players because now you're trying to figure out how do we do it without Kelsey Mitchell, someone who always had the ball in her hands.
Fresh into the game for the Terrapins, Sarah Myers, the junior from Cumming, Georgia. Terrapins up 19 with just over 3 minutes to play. Myers triggers 3, left side, good. That is how you enter a game hot, right there.
That's how you make an appearance. I love Sarah Myers. I think she's a great kid. She works really hard, and she's figuring it out, and she'll do good things for Maryland.
Lewis's putback is good off of Carlos's missed 3. Lewis has 14, 7 of those in this final stanza. Austin inside. Shot is up and good. Shakira Austin has 11. Austin now with her 8th double-double of the season. Van Leeuwen inside. Just inside the arc is up and good by Gilreath. They're going to give her 3.
Wisconsin firing it right back at Maryland.
Gilreath getting her first points of the night off that 3 ball. Entering the evening, Wisconsin the worst team in the conference from three-point range, 28% from outside the arc. Maryland the second best three-point shooting team entering this evening. Terps up by 19.
Wisconsin has good pieces. It's just figuring it out slowly but surely.
Watson deep and high left side, whistle stopping play, contact underneath. Perhaps against Olivia Owens fresh into the game. The freshman from Niskayuna, New York. Seeing some late action tonight with just over 2 minutes to play and the game mostly in hand. Missed 3 ball, rebound Terps. Vujicic. Just outside the arc, she stops, feeds Owens underneath, it's good. Well, the reserves come in and they score quickly for Maryland. This has been a nice fourth quarter couple of possessions for Myers and Owens.
You always love it when everyone scores.
Pass to the high post, Howard. Now handling Liszewski. Terrapins get the loose ball. 72-51. Vujicic 3. Rims in. That almost shot back up to the ceiling there, Chloe. Finally went down for her.
She's a sniper. Lefty sniper.
Vujicic has a pair of 3 balls tonight, has 6. Maryland with a 24-point advantage, their largest of the night. Timeout on the floor, but we'll keep it here as it is a 20-second variety, or not complete. It's
all been into the game. The crowd has been into the game. You can tell they're having fun out there and that they like each other, and that's something that I think Coach Freeze is really trying to pull from this team.
90 seconds to play in regulation. Beverly between the rings. Alex Luring into the game now for the Badgers, who are emptying their bench somewhat. Diamond Bragan as well. 3 ball left side's good by Luring. Alex Luring with the bucket. Her first 3 of the night, 75-54. Terrapins with a commanding advantage. Whistle will bring things back. Olivia Owens a little too much power underneath on the turnover.
And that happens as a freshman. You're still learning how to set your screens correctly, being in the right spaces at the right times, and it'll come for her over time. She has a lot of athletic ability and potential.
Gilreath kicks this one out to Beverly. 3 ball good. These are the 3s that they needed to make earlier when it was still a game. Beverly has 9, all in the fourth quarter.
If I'm Wisconsin, I would say just let it fly. You have nothing to lose. Just keep doing that.
Stephanie Jones dribbles into the lane. Right-hand runner, no good. Rebound, put back, no good by Owens. Wisconsin with the rebound. Beverly, because they probably have one last possession. Maryland will improve to 19-2 on the season. 3 ball, right side is no good. Rebound, Vujicic. 19-2. 8-2 inside the conference as they'll let this clock run down. Badgers will drop to 11-11 overall, 2-8 inside the league. Maryland 75, Wisconsin 57. The Terrapins improved to 19-2 on the season, 8-2 inside the Big Ten. Badgers 2-8 in league play, 11 up, 11 down overall. Next up for Maryland, they'll visit Illinois Monday. Next up for the Badgers, they'll host Michigan Sunday. For Chloe Pavlik and our team behind the scenes.